This is Alumni Spotlight, our series that reminisces and meets back up with former standout student athletes. And on today's episode, we have Kevin Yearick, Queens class of 1998, a 4-year starter and a 2-year captain for the men's soccer team. Thank you so much, Kevin, for coming on today.
Awesome. I wish that you would highlight it a little bit more when you said standout. I haven't heard that in forever. So yeah, thank you.
Well, you were a standout, an All-American your senior year, 3-time NSCAA All-South region. I mean, the accolades are endless. Hall of Fame class of 2010 for Queens University of Charlotte. I mean, 46 goals, 38 assists. Do you ever just read this I know you have a couple kids at home.
I printed one of those got printed out. I make sure that we have it highlighted and it's very prominent in my house. What's kind of funny about it is my son is 14 now and he plays with all of his buddies we live in Mississippi, and even in Mississippi, I'm not even positive that I would start for his 14-year-old team. Back when I was good, I'm not even sure I could have started on this team. It's wild how things have changed.
So you're in Madison, Mississippi, is that right?
That's right.
So you work at your University of Mississippi Medical Center, Chief Information Officer, Technology. You've been there for like 6.5 years or so.
Yeah, you got it.
So you're there now. Where did you grow up?
I grew up right outside Orlando in a small suburb called Winter Park, Florida, and then matriculated up to Queens from there. So I lived my life in Orlando and then lived in Charlotte for just about as many years. Probably was in Charlotte for about 15 or 16 years.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. So what was kind of the process of choosing Queens for you?
Oh, gosh. I think ultimately they offered me a chance to play soccer. Now that I think about it, I was gonna go into the military and do like an ROTC scholarship or something. And the last minute, the men's soccer coach, Coach Norkey, came down to a tournament and saw me at that tournament and asked me to come up and sort of try out. And I just fell in love with the place when you're there. It was an interesting. I remember during my recruitment that I thought to myself, this is the greatest college ever. Not one person talked to me about partying. I was like a goody two-shoes guy, and nobody talked to me about partying. I don't know why. But it was exactly what I needed to hear at the time. And so I just felt like it was a divine thing where I went to Queens because of that. Now, I mean, I had the greatest experience while I was there also. And I can't remember exactly what was the deciding factor other than it just worked out perfectly. Everything aligned.
Yeah, sometimes it just feels right. And that's what it sounds like for you. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you guys had a lot of. Yeah.
I was gonna say when I came in, we had 9. I think the year before there was like 10 or 11 guys who graduated. So I came in and I was with 9 freshmen on the team, and that was a pretty awesome experience too. If you think about it, like coming in on your entire team is made up of, not your entire team, but half the team is made up of your age. It created these bonds, and even there were several of them who actually transferred out, but we still kind of remained close. That was before you even had social media, and we still were able to keep in touch through various different ways. So that was an awesome experience early too.
Yeah, that sounds like it. And you guys had a lot of success, a lot of team success. Regular season title in '96, also 3 conference tournament titles. Are there any moments that maybe you and some of your friends that you still keep up with, any moments that still really stick out that you kind of remember from your time?
Yeah, I actually got to play with my younger brother, who's 3 years younger than me, and he came in as a freshman, and we played in the conference. I think it was the semifinals of the CVAC championship, and I remember we were tied with Belmont Abbey. And my younger brother is playing forward, and he gets a pass from someone, a guy by the name of Kevin Lynch, who was unbelievably wicked himself. But my brother gets a pass, and he's on the outside of the box, and he curls one in past the goalie. And it was unbelievable. But we all just went manic. We also had probably 6 or 8 freshmen starting that year too. So for us to advance to the championship match of that year was so fun. Kevin Lynch also, I think in the finals that same year, Kevin Lynch scored a goal. And it was great. We all ran over to the other team, who I don't remember who we were playing, in sidelines, and we all dove in front of them just to kind of rub it in. Great sportsmanship by us back then.
That's amazing. I mean, so what was your major when you were at Queens?
I was a business administration major.
Okay. And so what kind of took you to the line working in IT, and you've really risen up those ranks and yeah.
I had, when I was after my junior year in college, I got this, I don't know, I don't remember exactly what it was, but my friend Wayne Smith and I got selected to work as an intern at Bank of America in London. And so I came back from there the entire summer of maybe my junior and senior year. Both of us were in London by ourselves. Unbelievable experience, so great. One of the greatest things about Queens was all of these different experiences that they gave you. And so when I came back, I kind of wanted to work for Bank of America, but my brother, I had an older brother who worked in the IT space. He's like, you need to get in IT because this is where everything's going over the next 20 years or so. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know anything about IT, but he got me a job right out of college that I thought I was just so rich even at the time, and I wasn't, by the way. But he got me a job in it, and then from there I was able to kind of go through hard knocks and learn how things work, and then just being at the right place at the right time. So really, it was just another one of those things where I was just right at the right time, right there at the right time.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I imagine right now, I mean, at least the transition for like even where you work now, transitioning so many people probably working remotely, it puts even more weight on your shoulders. But
yeah, that has been a cool. So I work for the larger hospital in the state of Mississippi, and so we serve a patient demographic that is very rural, and so everybody, healthcare is moving towards a sort of IT bent anyway, where everybody can do medicine from their phone even at this point. So when we all went home for COVID, it was quite stressful getting all of the entire, not everybody, but, significant portion of the administrative staff, probably half of the employees started working remotely and making sure everybody had services. And it was fun. I mean, that's the thing is when you've been in, you kind of correlate these things to athletics in a lot of ways. And sometimes you get stressed out on the field or whatnot. But that's the most fun I had was when it was a tight game and you were needed and you felt like all the pressure was on you. And sometimes you fail, you just shake it off and say, we'll do better next time. But for the most part, you just keep your head above water. And this whole pandemic has been just so strange, but I've found it to be kind of galvanizing. We have so much community in this area, and having folks stick up for you and look out for you in ways that we haven't experienced. We're all getting outside, at least in Mississippi. We all were outside just kind of doing our walks and stuff, and you got to meet your neighbors so much better than prior to that. So I think there's been good in it also. Yeah,
that's awesome. That sounds pretty amazing. And you have a couple kids at home. You said they play soccer?
Yeah, I have a 14-year-old boy who's in 9th grade now, and I have an 11-year-old girl who's in 6th grade. And they're both good athletes. I don't like to toot my kid's own horn, but fun to watch, and you get a kick out of it. You always thought that you were good, but I was nothing. I was terrible. Growing up was so awesome. So awesome.
Well, thank you so much. This has been awesome. This has been Kevin Yearick, Queens class of 1998, Hall of Fame inductee class of 2010. You said you didn't want to embarrass yourself in front of your kids. They're going to watch this. I think we beat that. I think we got that.
I think so. I don't know. They'll still find a way to embarrass me. They're at a place or something. So anyway, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Go Royals. We'll see you guys later. Okay.